Back to another video on the channel, man, and today we're going to be 4th gen swapping the 2nd gen, all the interior except for the seats. So let me show you guys what I'm working with and what's all going to be going into this third. So right here we have 4th gen dash with everything, like the harness, we got the cluster, we got everything that is supposed to go on the dash. So when I got this truck, it didn't originally have a dash, if you watched the previous video on this thing. So today I got my guy Kobe. He's back in town, my #1 helper, just chilling out. You know, we're gonna try and attempt to get that dash mocked up pretty nice in here. How are we gonna do it? I don't know. Everyone does it a different way, so we're gonna figure out what works best in the situation that I am in right now for this. So we're gonna start off by taking these seats out, getting this center console out, and then taking that right there off as well, and you know, trying to figure out how we're gonna do this, because I have a full center console. So yeah, we're gonna fit it all in there. I know it's dirty, it's been sitting in a shed forever. I got it stupid cheap. We're gonna buzz these seats off, start there, and yeah. Just gonna go ahead and get that dropped in here, see where it sits. First we're gonna have to do the dash, and then we'll have to worry about, you know, how that's gonna sit and where it is gonna sit. Okay, so this is the fitment for this side so far. As you can see, it's pretty lined up. First, before we can even get that piece in there, we got to get a bracket made from to there, and then over there we're going to use the existing hole. Let me zoom in on it. See that existing hole right there, and a bracket welded to the actual dash piece there. It'll come off and attach there, and then that'll be the bracket for the bottom piece. And then for the top right there, we're gonna cut a fin off of just like this and put it there on that side to hold that side up. And then the bracketry for that would be done. So you'll have 2 separate pieces of the 4th gen dash. You have to cut out the center in between here. You'll have to reinforce that later. We're gonna go over that. And then there was a tab on the top right there. It looks like this off the 4th gen dash. You'll cut that off as well on both sides, and then on the 4th gen dash you'll have the piece where it actually bolted to in the 4th gen, which would be this piece. You would also cut that off as well. Same tab as I just showed before, that one, cut that too. So you'll have 2 separate pieces, cut it down, pull the wiring harness off to the side while fitting, and it should sit something in there, something like that. This right here would be straight level, because that's where the radio and all that would go. And then you would have the center console come up a tad bit, and you know, it'll be there. So we're gonna get a couple of tabs welded on this side. We're gonna get this mounted and fixed up there. And then this side would be really easy, because we're gonna do the same thing. Mounting tab coming off the bottom to the existing bolt hole on the 2nd gen, and an arm coming off from here to here. So right over there, that bolt right there, that is the bracket that we cut off of that side at the top right there on the other side. We bent it out, bent that bottom piece out, and we're gonna weld that bracket to that using the existing hole on the 2nd gen. Then we're gonna take the 2nd gen arm, like this one here, off of the 2nd gen dash, and we're gonna mount it to where it bolts up right there into that hole. So get some welding done and we'll bounce right back. I'll show you guys the next step. So far, this is how far we got. What do you think so far?
It's looking good.
Looking pretty good?
Everything's fitting close.
So it's pretty decent in there. We're gonna have to trim out some stuff in order to get, you know, the shifter and all that to actually, you know, function.
Probably cut the back of the dash.
Yeah, we're gonna cut maybe a ½ an inch out of that right there and see where that puts us. And then, because all this here, if you actually push down on it, it all mates up how it's supposed to. So to give us that good, like, that recommend, like, scoot the center console up. This right here. Scoot it up towards it. And then these, the little tabs here, they go inside, you know what I mean? So, just like that. And that, dude, that already looks super duper good. And look at where the holes are for the seats on the bracket.
Yeah.
Look how close it is. We'll be able to use the factory stuff from the center console, the factory center console, and run arms to this to hold that down. And then this will be held on by a couple bolts here. But that's solid. Dude, that looks amazing already.
That's awesome.
Also got 4th gen steering wheel right over there in the corner. So really excited with how so far it's turning out. Also got a factory cluster as well. But I'm gonna get this off, trim it up, and show you guys how we mounted that side. And we're just gonna go ahead and finish up. Right now it's just a dry fit to see where we're at. We know we gotta cut a pretty decent amount off by this right here. This little bracket. That tells us, I don't know, that looks like maybe in 1/2 inch, or, you know what I mean? So we're gonna cut this right here along all the way across and refit it back in and see what it looks like. But as of right now, with the center console sitting there and all that, it looks super duper good. So we're just gonna go off that. A lot has been done since the last clip. We did a lot of trimming, some welding, and I'm gonna flip this around and show you how far we got, because honestly it looks really, really good. Yeah, that looks crazy good. That looks unreal. To like see something like that in this, a 2002. This is only like, I think 2013 or 14, one of them. But that's actually pretty darn fire. Not gonna lie. The center console makes it like 10 times better. But definitely gonna need a good cleaning. We have to trim a lot off of that, but it fits up pretty nice. Might try to find 4th gen A-pillars, because they'll mold up really nice here. But all in all, we cut off about maybe in 1/2 inch. And you have to cut out the tweeters. I was saying earlier, you have to cut out the tweeters. My phone died, so you have to cut out the tweeters on both sides. And everything else should fit up pretty nice. Has to see the space. It's not looking too bad. I also got the 4th gen steering wheel. I'll be putting that in as well. I'm gonna wire up the cluster. I don't know if anybody has ever done that before, but I am going to try to get the cluster to function, the RPM, the temp, the fuel level, the battery voltage, and the oil pressure. Preferably everything there. I don't really care about the middle digital screen. It doesn't matter to me. So, but everything fits up really, really nice. So, that all being said, we still have to put this side mounting bracket on, then brace the middle. That's not going to be too hard. I was just trying to see how much room I had to actually brace. We're going to weld a pipe, smaller pipe through there. It'll run over here and connect to that side. That's how I'm going to end up doing it. But all in all, it's looking pretty good, dude. 4th gen interior and the 2nd gen. The install isn't too bad. I mean,
Pretty smooth.
it did go pretty smooth. The fitment at the window could be a little bit better, but this dash wasn't made to go in here. It's a couple things that I'm going to cut off, and I will put those in the video as well. It's like a little notch right back up in there where the rail goes across. Can't really see it. Everything else fits up really nice. As for these, for the center console to bolt down, like I said, some arms are going to run across, some nuts and bolts there. Basically an L bracket, and then it'll go here when the seat gets put on. That will go on after. You know what I mean? So We did utilize some of the parts off of the 2002 Cummins dash. That's what this is. So we no longer have use for that. I'm gonna try to get everything in here to work. All the cigarette lighters. This obviously won't work. I'll probably take this out and put a gauge there or something fresh like that. As for that too, I want to try to get that to work. It's just a couple things that I want to try to get to work. I could take this whole steering wheel out. I could put this whole assembly in there. I probably could. I'm not gonna lie, I probably could. I'm not sure, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like I said, I've never seen someone go this far into depth with this, but I might be able to get it to work, I might not. We're just gonna see. But for sure, the steering wheel, clock spring, stuff like that, miscellaneous vents, I'm gonna see what I can do to get those to work as well. Just a couple things, you know what I mean, to try to make it comfortable. This is what we cut off the front. That's maybe half an inch, maybe. But cut that off the front and fits up okay. It doesn't fit up too bad. Honestly, I think that's gonna call it. There's gonna be a couple parts on this video. So this will be part 1 per se. This is not the finished product. This is just literally a mock-up of how it should sit in there, how it's going. You got a couple things to put in. The doors, they shut, you know what I mean? I still got a couple things to trim. But all in all, the dash is in there. It is pretty. Man, Kobe, shake that dash, dude. It does not really move at all right now. It's got a couple bolts in it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It has like maybe 4 or 5 bolts in it. And it literally doesn't move. This side will move. Well, honestly, this side really doesn't move. And it's missing the whole rest of the dash. This piece right here. Anyway, let me stop talking about all that. Like I said, this is part 1 of the video, man. If you guys enjoyed, you guys like what you've seen here, you want to see more, go ahead, like, share, comment, turn on your notifications. Tune in for the next video, part 2 on this, and that's going to be getting everything finished, possibly some wiring with the cluster and a couple other things. So, man, if you enjoyed yourself here, tune back in for the next video, bro. Peace out. See you on the next one.